The movie begins in Italy, where a group of people are changing their clothes in an elevator. A team of intelligence agents is preparing to capture a criminal who possesses a device containing the names and addresses of all secret agents in Europe. They manage to apprehend him, but as they attempt to leave, an explosion occurs. The team rushes into the street, where they are systematically eliminated one by one, leaving only the team leader and the criminal. Both are eventually killed, and the device is taken. Meanwhile, Roxanne watches from a distance. In the United States, Mike is spending time with his former teacher. Later, he visits his mother, who informs him about his friend's wedding. He then heads to work at a construction site, where he enjoys time with his colleagues. That evening, they gather at a bar, drinking and having fun. Suddenly, after a long absence, Roxanne arrives. Mike warmly welcomes her, and they spend some time playing together. They decide to go somewhere else to talk. While they are talking, she drugs him and takes him to London. When Mike wakes up, he is shocked to find himself in London. He meets Roxanne and her boss, who asks him to drive a car while they explain who they are. As they drive through London, they take him to the organization's headquarters and inform him about the mission. They need someone with no prior experience as an agent. Mike hesitates to accept the operation, but Roxanne tells him that if he wants, there is a ticket back to America waiting for him. That evening, he decides to accept the mission. They begin training him both mentally and physically, as he must master the basics as quickly as possible before the auction for the stolen device. On the scheduled day, they gather to brief him on the details. He is given $5 million to enter the auction. While walking down the street, he encounters a mysterious man who leads him to a cafe. There, he hears a phone ringing, instructing him to go to the restroom. Inside, he finds a man counting money. After verifying the amount, he is told that the device he is using is what will allow him to enter the auction. As Mike exits the cafe, a group of armed men ambush him, attempting to eliminate him and steal the device. While trying to escape, Roxanne intervenes to protect him. During his escape, he encounters a female mercenary who engages him in a brutal fight. She nearly kills him, but Roxanne arrives just in time to save him. Upon their return, Mike hands over the device, but it is broken, having fallen into the water during his fight. The organization's tech expert informs the leader that the device is damaged beyond repair and cannot be used. They also identify the group responsible for the attack. Following this, the leader orders Roxanne to remove Mike from the mission. However, Mike pleads for another chance to make up for the loss. The next morning, as they discuss their plan to attack a terrorist organization and retrieve the device in their possession, Mike prepares to prove himself once again. In the evening, they launch an attack on the gang's headquarters, eliminating them one by one. As one of the gang members tries to escape from Roxanne, Mike intercepts him. Roxanne retrieves their device and heads back to their car, only to find her friend murdered, with a photo of a secret location left beside her body. She tries to warn the leader, but before she can, an explosion erupts at the headquarters. The team decides to split up for their safety. Roxanne and Mike retreat to a secret hideout, where Mike tries to comfort her. They share a conversation, reminiscing about the past. The next morning, they travel to another hidden location, where Roxanne meets with the organization's leader, who introduces her to the intelligence director, who will be joining the operation. Through the auction, they hope to uncover the location of the final transaction. Roxanne and Mike are assigned to go there and track it down. From the rooftop of a cafe, they observe a woman overseeing the auction and approach her, asking for the device. She tells them that it is stored safely at her home. Upon arriving at her residence, she hands them the device, but suddenly, there is a knock at the door. To their shock, the leader of the team that was supposedly killed in Italy appears. He reveals that he faked his death to protect himself and that the real spy is the head of the organization. Mike also realizes that the man is Roxanne's ex-husband. He instructs her to deliver the device to the intelligence director at the bridge. Here, we see Roxanne and Mike at the bridge when her ex-husband calls from a plane. He reveals that he has the real device, as his assistant had swapped it at the house. He also confesses that he is the real spy and that he has set them up. At that moment, the intelligence director arrives, intending to arrest them. However, Roxanne and Mike jump off the bridge and manage to escape. Roxanne then tells Mike that she had placed a tracking device on her ex-husband because she never trusted him. Mike makes some calls to his friends to arrange travel using cargo containers to reach the designated location. Upon arriving at a location in Europe, Roxanne and Mike step out and track her ex-husband's whereabouts. They spot him on a yacht with his assistant, the one who stole the device. Later, they see him and his assistant in a public place, where they are about to meet with warlords interested in purchasing the device. Roxanne approaches and sits with them. Sensing the situation, his assistant chooses to abandon him, and the mercenaries withdraw as well. At this moment, Roxanne aims her gun at him, intending to capture him. She throws the device on the ground, and Mike quickly grabs it. The terrorist group immediately starts chasing Mike, while her ex-husband takes advantage of the distraction and escapes. Mike finds himself alone, fighting off several attackers on the rooftops. Roxanne arrives just in time to assist him and save his life. As they are leaving, her ex-husband ambushes them, attempting to take the device. Suddenly, a black car speeds toward them and opens fire. He jumps into a sports car, and Roxanne follows in a taxi. Meanwhile, the mercenary leader chases Mike, who, during the pursuit, manages to throw him onto the trunk of an old car, trapping him inside. At that moment, Roxanne's ex-husband speeds toward it in his car, grabs the device, and quickly drives away. The adventure heats up as Roxanne desperately chases after her ex-husband to capture him. Meanwhile, the mercenary leader takes the car with Mike still trapped inside and speeds off in pursuit as well. During the high-speed chase, Mike manages to break free from the trunk, throw the mercenary leader out of the car, and continue the pursuit of Roxanne's ex-husband. However, during the intense chase, her ex-husband manages to force Mike's car off the road, sending it toward a deep ravine. Roxanne quickly stops to save him, and just in time, Mike jumps out of the car before it plunges down. They resume the chase and eventually find her ex-husband stopped at a beach, waiting for a boat to pick him up. Wasting no time, they destroy his car and attempt to capture him and retrieve the device. In a final confrontation, he tries to kill Roxanne, but she swiftly eliminates him and secures the device. Sometime later, Mike is seen at his friend's wedding, delivering a heartfelt speech. As everyone celebrates and enjoys the moment, the stunning Roxanne arrives and tells Mike that she wants to spend time with him. As they step outside together, they are suddenly approached by the head of the organization. He informs Mike that there's a new mission waiting for him.